This morning, we're spotlighting the celebrity hairstylist murder trial for defendant Monica Sementilli. She's accused of being the mastermind behind the murder of her famous hairstylist husband, Fabio Sementilli. Prosecutors are alleging that Monica and her lover murdered Fabio in order to continue their lustful affair and then cash in on $1 million life insurance policy. More law enforcement witnesses and her former housekeeper are expected to all testify today. On Wednesday, we heard the defense's theory. Their theory is that Monica had an affair, but she was not involved in Fabio's murder. Let's take a quick look back together at both sides of the opening statements.
Lust, greed, betrayal. That's what this case is about. In December of 2015, the defendant began to take racquetball lessons from Baker. They exchanged emails December 1st, which you see here. This is approximately when they first met. You're also going to hear that Robert Baker was a registered sex offender. You're going to learn that the victim in this case was actually his stepdaughter from a prior marriage. You're also going to hear that the defendant sent over 300 videos and photographs, which included hundreds of naked photos of herself to Baker during the course of their affair. Not only was the defendant having an affair with Baker, but they were also swinging with other people. Her older daughter, Jessica, who you'll hear from, found Baker sleeping in the defendant's bed one morning.
You have not heard one piece of evidence, one text, one letter, one recorded call, one statement by Monica Sementilli, or any indication that Monica Sementilli ever uttered a word about wanting her husband dead. Her sexuality, her choice, which some of us may disapprove of, to have an affair has nothing to do with wanting her husband dead.
All right, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about the defense theory that she's not a murderer, just a cheater. Let's bring in two high-profile attorneys on the show this morning, Michael J. Brown and John Phillips. Good morning to you, gentlemen. Michael, let me start with you, if I may, please. This defense theory, do you like it?
Good morning, Julie. Good morning, John. They have to go with what they have, and they have to concede, obviously, that they're having this affair because the evidence is overwhelming. But, you know, I'm listening to that opening statement, and the attorney is suggesting it has nothing to do with the murder. On the other hand, I would say it has everything to do with the murder. She needed to take her husband out of this world because she was in this affair. Apparently, her religious beliefs prevent her from getting a divorce. And there's a ton of money at the end of the rainbow as the beneficiary of this life insurance policy. So as we all know, John and you both know, the fact that you have a motive is never a necessary element. It's always something the jury wants to hear. So yeah, I think it's defense is doing what they have to do, but I think it's a very difficult case for them.
Yes, yes. And Michael, I love what you said there about how motive's not an element, even though a lot of people have that misconception. Thank you for that. And then you said how, but juries want to hear it. So juries want the story. And oh, are they getting a story in this one, as you two know. My goodness, some of this evidence that the jury is seeing about this affair, John Phillips, it makes so many of us wonder. We keep asking in our newsroom, why would she want to go to trial and let all this come out?
Yeah, I mean, you got to take the chance to try to not be convicted of murder, right? Or spend the rest of your life in a plea deal. But I can't wait to see what there's other people involved, is my understanding, and I can't see where they're going to. I can't wait to see where they're going to weigh in.
Right. So they're both kind of wild cards, right? Because we know the one guy, Robert Baker, he's the one she had the affair with, the love affair. So you would think maybe he'd have some more allegiance to her than the other guy who is just said to have been the knife-wielding man, the man who actually did the stabbing. His name is Christopher Austin. And so they're both set to testify. Michael J. Brown, how do you think this is going to go?
I think it's going to be great entertainment, Julie. Baker apparently is the one who was the boyfriend, and he apparently accepted responsibility. My understanding is he's going to take the stand and accept responsibility and disclaim all responsibility for Sementilli and say she wasn't involved. I don't think that's going to go well, because the prosecutor has indicated that they have numerous different versions, including recorded statements, of this complicit discussion, how he's going to take responsibility and absolve her of responsibility. That's a trouble. That's a problem. Now, again, I'm never going to second guess the defense attorneys, because they best know how to handle the case. But the moment the jury thinks that the defense attorney is pulling one over on them, you start losing the trust and faith of the jury, and then it kind of it morphs into all other aspects of the case. So that could be a problem. This Austin fella apparently sort of deal. He got a benefit for flipping, and he's going to bring the jury right into that scene and describe to detail what exactly happened. So it will be very interesting television, to say the least.
Right. And I'm thinking of a follow-up question for you, Michael, please. Harkening back to your time as a prosecutor, with these two, Christopher Austin, the knife man, and Robert Baker, the lover, which of the two would you call first if you're the state of California?
Oh, that's a good one. Well, Baker's their guy. So I'm sorry, Christopher Austin is the one they have to deal with, and he's the one who's cooperating. So certainly he's going to be your witness as a prosecutor. He's going to help your case. Austin's not going to help your case at all. So he would be a hostile, adversarial witness. Let the defense call him, let him say what he has to say, and then I think the prosecutor is going to tee off on him and neutralize him at worst. But I think they're actually going to, again, make him their witness and really take a lot of the credibility away from the defense if they do it right.
Right. Great points, Michael. Thank you for that. John Phillips, let me go back to you, please, with Monica Sementilli. How do you think she's being counseled right now when it comes to the big question of, is she going to testify? Should she testify? These two could be wild cards potentially. We don't know what they're going to do on the stand for the state. What would you be saying to her if you're her lawyer, John?
Don't testify. I mean, first you've got to see how things lay out, right? And what is she reasonably going to add to subtract from the state's case? We don't know that quite yet. I don't think it's going to be good. You can see her right there. She's very emotional. That's not somebody you want testifying.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. Yeah, she's been kind of a basket case throughout this. And then what's coming in is just jaw-dropping. You both know some of the pieces of evidence. You know, our field producer there, you know, in the courtroom gathering some of them, you know, seeing these exhibits, the jury's seeing, and it's, oh, we got to watch what we put on TV. Michael J. Brown, let me go to you here, please. If you're the state of California, how confident are you in this case that you can convict Monica Sementilli?
Julia, I think the evidence is very strong, and it appears to be overwhelming without hearing everything. But remember, we've all been involved in these, and trials can take different routes at different times. So, you know, there's no script to these cases, and things could fall apart. They unravel. That happens, and that's probably happened to all of us at different points in our career. But in terms of the evidence, it seems as though from a circumstantial standpoint, it's extremely strong. And once you add the cooperating witness to the fray, I think they have a very, very strong case. And following up what John said, you know, putting up your client on the stand, that's a decision that the defense will make after the prosecution rests. They don't commit to it. They don't have to talk about it. And they'll make a decision depending upon where they think the case is at that point in time.
Yeah, excellent points you both made with respect to that. And we often see that. Great example, the case we were just talking about, Natalie Cochran, how they were intending to put her up. That was the word we got. We were talking about it. And then when they thought their case was going well, they, you know, pulled back the reins and said, we're going to just wait and let the state prove its case. And they did, but that's neither here nor there. I know we have to end the segment here. Michael J. Brown, we've got to let you go to court. Thank you so much for your time and expertise this morning. We appreciate you. We'll talk more next time. John Phillips, thank you for coming along.